Hello, you guys. I'm freaking excited to chat with you today about just nutrition 101. Okay. I've been a Beachbody person for 12 years. I've been following the containers for over 5 years, know about them, all the things. And so I wanted to chat today about what it really looks like. I know sometimes it's really easy to okay, cool. Like I got these boxes, but now what? Right? And when you're following Ultimate Portion Fix and To Be Mindset, all the things. Okay, so I'm going to break it down. I'm just going to talk UPF for a bit. And when I say UPF, Ultimate Portion Fix, okay, just know that's what I'm talking about. Ultimate Portion Fix is the container system. That's Autumn Calabrese's system with the little color-coded boxes. We're going to talk all UPF, okay, and then we're going to chat To Be Mindset after that, okay. And this is definitely something that you can revisit a million times if you need to, okay? So I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of what Autumn teaches you, because that's what the Ultimate Portion Fix videos are for, okay? But I'm going to tell you what I do to make it work for me, okay? So everybody should have access to the Ultimate Portion Fix and To Be Mindset videos, which again, it goes back to when they announced Beachbody On Demand, I was so mad because I had 9 years worth of different DVDs that I had to pay for individually, right? And then all of a sudden, and it was $140 for each set of DVDs, okay? And then all of a sudden they're gonna give away all the workouts to everyone for $99. And it was like, are you freaking kidding me? Do you know how much money I've spent on just the 7 sets of DVDs that I have, and you're giving this to everyone else for $99? I was pissed, okay? But it's all right. I'm happy that so many people are getting so much great value, as am I, right? I got a whole bunch of stuff that I had never bought, that I probably never would have bought, and I love, right? Hello, hashtag Insanity Max 30. I never would have bought that program, and I love it. I love it. I love it. Same thing goes for the nutrition programs, okay? I bought them each individually, separately for I think it was $220 when I first bought them. And then, oh, guess what? They're free now with the newest program when you buy it with the challenge pack. It's literally $0.00 to add them on. Huh, is that funny? And I'm like, curse you. But it's so freaking cool at the same time that it's free for you because it's so freaking valuable. So everybody should have access to those, but please, 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 just because it was free for you, please do not disregard them as not that great, okay? You will watch one if you haven't watched any yet, and you will automatically recognize and realize, holy crap, how valuable this is. I have had a million people who've done containers in the past, who've been Autumn lifers for whatever reason. They've never had Ultimate Portion Fix videos. And they're like, what's the big deal? What is she going to talk to me about for 20 hours? This is a purple container and eat a banana for 20 hours. No, no, it is so good. Okay. It is so good. So just first and foremost, go watch. You can find those videos on Beachbody On Demand underneath the Nutrition Center tab. There's a To Be Mindset portion, and then there's also an Ultimate Portion Fix portion from these amazing creators of the programs, okay? Alana, To Be Mindset girl, she is a certified dietitian and nutritionist. Autumn is not, but her brother is. She is a certified personal trainer, but her brother is a certified dietitian and nutritionist, and his name is Bobby. He's the one that created the Fixate show with her, and he's the one that helped her with all the food science behind the containers and the calorie counts and the macronutrients and all the things, all the scientific awesomeness, okay? So crazy cool that we have access to 2 different approaches, both certified and all the awesomeness, and it was literally free. Free for you, okay? So you just gotta take advantage of it, really, okay? With all of that said, when I followed Ultimate Portion Fix for let's just say 5 years. We'll just round it up, whatever, 5-ish years, okay? And I have done both Ultimate Portion Fix and To Be Mindset in different periods of my life, depending on my goals, how strict I want it to be, how loose I want it to be, because both will get you results. It's just a mindset switch, really, is my personal opinion about it. But with Ultimate Portion Fix, the way that I got results with it is I would do all the things, right? Like veggies, fats, cheese, proteins, carbohydrates, all the different food groups, and I would do them. That is the biggest question I get asked is like, do I really have to eat this much food? And yes, the answer is yes, 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 you do. Because so many times in the diet culture, it's this, oh, I'm going on a diet, I'm changing this, whatever. So I need to deprive myself of food so that I can have a caloric deficit so that I can lose weight. No, I'm slapping you across the face. That is not Beachbody. That will never be Beachbody. So if you're a part of this Beachbody family, you're not on a diet, okay? And I'm getting my passion sweats on. You are changing your life, okay? You are changing your life. This is not a temporary fix. This is a, no, I'm committing to this. And guess what? It doesn't suck, okay? It really doesn't. So when you're following Ultimate Portion Fix, you eat all that food. Because if you don't, you will wake up hungry one of these days and you're going to lose your resolve because you're going to be like, okay, well, it's only been 4 days and I'm really haven't seen that much weight loss because it's only been 4 days and I'm hungry. So peace out. I'm done. Never mind. This is not for me. Okay. But you are the problem. Love ya, but you're the problem because you didn't eat all the food. Okay. You wouldn't be hungry if you were eating all the food. And you have to give it more than 4 days to see results. I'm sorry, you just do. Okay. You have got to 1 to 2 months of, and depending on, I mean, you might see a loss. Like you might see like, okay, yeah, I lost 5 pounds in 3 weeks. Like that's awesome. But unless that was your goal to only lose 5 pounds in 3 weeks, like you still got room to grow, right? Like you still got room to go. So commit to like 2 months of, all right, I'm doing this. I'm in this, right? Of like seriousness. Okay. I'm trying to find my pen because Ellie is in this phase of like sticking electrical plugs in her mouth, like the other end. And I'm like, stop it. Sorry, hold on. Damn it. I love you. Stop. I like can't leave anything anywhere anymore. Okay, sorry. On that train, okay, if you don't eat that food, okay, you will be hungry. And honestly, it might be in the morning where we have a little bit more like resolve to like, yes, I'm going to do this. But honestly, more often than not, it's going to be at night when your willpower is completely spent and you're just going to be like, all right, screw it. I'm hungry. Let's get pizza. And I'm going to have 6 slices and I'm going to hate myself in the morning, but I don't care. I'm hungry. And that's what sounds good right now. Okay. So when you are doing the containers, you have got to eat all of the containers. I know it seems like a lot of food. And I know at first you're like, holy crap, I cannot get another serving of vegetables in if I tried. Okay, you have to, because you might not feel it today, but you will in 4 days. You will feel it in a couple of days. You will feel it tomorrow. You will feel it tomorrow night or whatever. And it will come back to bite you in the butt and you will be hungry. And guess what? Your body will not crave water and carrot sticks. Your body will crave carbs. And guess what you'll give into? Carbs, because that's your habit. That's what you're used to, okay? That's what you'll go to, and then you'll undo the 4 days of hard work in one meal, right? So eat all the food, okay? If you're following Ultimate Portion Fix, eat it all. Trust the formula. I love you, but you do not know more than Autumn or her brother who's a certified dietitian and nutritionist, okay? It clearly drives me crazy when people are like, I did the formula, but I don't think that's right. I'm like, okay. Have you gone to school to be a certified dietitian and nutritionist? No, you haven't. Okay, so trust them, okay? Clearly, passionate Brent's coming out at you. Not holding back. It's fine. We're fine. Okay. Same thing goes with the breastfeeding formula. There is a way to lose weight while you're breastfeeding. And guess what? It's eating a lot of healthy foods. Okay. And so many people are like, there is no way I'm going to lose weight while breastfeeding doing that much food. Oh, really? Have you tried it? Because I have 3 times and it worked. So try it. before you judge, okay? All right, moving on. I think you get the picture with that. That's the biggest question I get. Yes, you need to eat all the food, okay? For me personally, I liked a little bit more flexibility with Ultimate Portion Fix. I was not one of those people who, especially, cheese up? That's great. I'm not one of those people who like, I don't live off of quinoa and brown rice and sweet potatoes. I don't. That does not bring me joy. I like wheat thins. I like Flaming Hot Cheetos every once in a while. I really like cookies, chocolate chip cookies. Hold on one second. Yes.
I really want Daddy to hurry upstairs his work because I really want to play Pokemon.
I know. Please don't interrupt me while I'm talking to my friends, okay? Go play in the playroom or play with your sisters. So Autumn says, yeah, you can totally have those things. Here's some healthy recipes, not Flaming Hot Cheetos, but here's a healthy recipe for chocolate chip cookies or whatever, right? Here's some healthy recipes, and this is the container count. For me, I was like, no, I want my version of my cookie. Like, I want the cookie recipe that I love. I want Flaming Hot Cheetos. So for me, this is Ultimate Portion Fix according to Bryn, okay? Autumn would probably shoot me, but it worked for me, okay? I would have Flaming Hot Cheetos, but I would have one serving and I would swap it out for a yellow container. And I would love to say that I was all whatever scientifical and this, and I only did it 3 times a week and I never did it more than that. But you know what? That just wouldn't be true. There were a lot of days that my carbs were a white tortilla, white rice, wheat thins, and a cookie. Okay, like those were my 4 yellow containers. And not a single one of those is on the yellow list. Whole grain crackers are on the list if you're following the foundational fix, but wheat thins they do have whole wheat in them, but the sun, there's, you know, it's a little gray area. But it worked for me. It worked for me. And I would use, I'm not a huge fruit person. I like fruit, but I'm just too lazy for fruit. I don't like that I have to pit it and gut it and cut it and whatever. Like, give me a banana. Yes. All I have to do is peel it. Perfect. Give me an apple. Sure. Yep. I'll crunch on it. Watermelon. I love the taste of it. I hate how much work it takes. And I hate how much work it takes to like wash and cut all the things, and even grapes. Like, I got to wash them every time. It just drives me crazy. Okay. And that's just like lazy Bryn coming at you. Okay. So I would use dried mangoes from Costco as a fruit because I love them. They're so delicious. They have so much sugar in them, you guys. Like, I really should not have counted that as a purple, but I did. And I still lost weight and it worked for me. Okay. So I had a really good friend who's actually cousins with Aubrey Babcock, one of my coaches on here. Her name's Jessica. And she was talking to me and she was starting this journey. And she was like, I really, I want to do this and I want to lose weight, but I love, and I can't remember what it was. It was like the twisted barbecue, like chip things, or it was some random chip that she like loves. We'll just pretend it's Flaming Hot Cheetos because that's what I love, okay? And she was like, I really want to do this and I can tell it works, but I don't think I can give those up. And she was like talking to me, it was like day 3 or 4 or something. And I was like, girlfriend, you don't have to. And I told her what I do. I told her, like, just swap it out with a yellow container. And honestly, I was a little bit shameful. I was like, should I? Does that make me like the worst health coach ever to tell her this? Because I'm totally going against what Autumn would ever say. But then I realized, you know what? No, like, this is what I do. This is what works for me. And I need to share that because I am not all about this diet life, right? Like, I'm about this lifestyle change. And I don't want to give up Flamin' Hot Cheetos for the rest of my life. That makes me feel sad, okay? So I told her that, and bada bing, bada boom, she was like, oh, serious? Okay, great. And so she kept having these honey barbecue, twisted, whatever things. Guys, shh, please. And she slayed her transformation, you guys. Like, slayed it. And it was like so cool to see. So cool to see how much she transformed in just a few months. And it was cool to like, that was really, she was the first person that I had the courage to tell her what was really going on behind the scenes and not like pretend I'm just this fabulous like nutrition coach who always eats quinoa and brown rice and that's it and that's all. And it paid off. And it was like, Bryn, Why aren't you telling all your people about this? Okay. Because it clearly works for you. So it will probably work for your type of people too. Okay. And Steph just said, I do the same type of thing. And amen. She's totally my person, like in another body. Right. So yes. Steph says those 3 carb swaps go towards the moderate size of dessert I want. Yes. Yes. Amen. Those desserts are just life, right? So true. Okay. Yes, cutie. I'm so sorry. Tell her to be soft to you, please. Okay. So that's how I would follow Ultimate Portion Fix. Pretty much every other container, cheeses and proteins and fruits, vegetables, healthy fats, teaspoons. I would follow those pretty to the letter. Like it wasn't, I mean, yeah. But as far as carbs go, that was really the only place that I would like, I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it. Okay. And it still worked. And I know Autumn says like the 3 carb swaps weekly for foundational fix, but I personally, I didn't tally. I didn't keep track because it made me feel too deprived. And it was just, no, I'm going to have this and I can have it again tomorrow if I want, and again the next day if I want, and again the next day if I want, but I just have to make sure that, because I struggled with a binge eating disorder. Oh my gosh. I struggled with a binge eating disorder. And so cutting myself off that hard was like, no, that doesn't feel good. But when I allowed myself like, no, yes, I can have this every day if I want to. I just need to watch my serving sizes and I need to track it. Like I'm going to have Flaming Hot Cheetos every day, but I'm only going to have 1 serving of Flaming Hot Cheetos every day. And I'm going to make sure I saved room for it. It's going to be my yellow. I'm not going to have all my yellows and Flaming Hot Cheetos. I'm going to have whatever, right? And same thing goes with like pizza. I would totally have pizza on Ultimate Portion Fix. 2 slices, 1 slice. It's been a minute since I followed Ultimate Portion Fix. You can Google it, literally. But it counted for 2 carbs and a red. 2 yellows and a red was, I think it was 1 slice of just pepperoni pizza. Okay. And then I would just have a big salad with it or whatever, but I still would totally enjoy pizza and lasagna. I would just have like a smaller slice and I would just like, okay, I have some carbs in there. I've got some sauce in there. I've got some meat, right? Like all the things. And so I would still have very, very much normal things. Sorry. 1 second. Guys, is Ellie out here? I just don't want to. Okay. Sorry, guys. I had to put my baby gate up because she went in the hall. I didn't want her to fall down the stairs. We're in that fun phase. Okay. So yes, I would still have all the normal things. And the biggest thing that I would do for Ultimate Portion Fix was I would plan out our dinners a week in advance. Sundays, I plan out my dinners. Okay. And we would have normal things: spaghetti, lasagna, pizza, hamburgers, whatever, like all the normal stuff. Okay. Pasta from Pinterest that I found this recipe for, whatever, like normal. Okay. Normal stuff. And the morning of, I would put that in the Nutrition Plus app. If you don't have the Nutrition Plus app, get it. Hey, Hal. Sorry, got distracted by a cute little face. But Nutrition Plus app is so solid. It's an iPhone app. I don't know what it is for Android users. So if you're an Android user, please type in the chat what it is. And I'll make sure and say it. But get that app. You can pick, are you following Ultimate Portion Fix or 2B Mindset? And then you can track your nutrition there, okay? But I would go into the app and I would log, okay, tonight we're having hamburgers. And you know what? I know myself, I'm gonna want both sides of the bun. I'm not gonna have open face because I like to be able to hold my bun without getting my fingers all nasty, right? So I'm gonna have both buns. So guess what? I'm gonna save 2 carbs for my dinner. And so that means I'm not having any fries, right? I'm going to have a salad instead. Or, okay, maybe I will take the top off and I'm going to have the fries instead, right? Or whatever, okay? And I would just make sure and save, okay, so I'm going to have some ketchup on my bun or on my burger and some barbecue sauce. So I'm going to count that as 2 teaspoons, and I'm going to want some cheese on there. So I'm going to put my blue container in there, and I'm going to have I'll have some tomatoes and lettuce. I'll probably say that's like half a veggie because that's really not that much. Maybe I'll have a little more just to munch on while I'm making dinner. Then I'll have a salad. Oh, okay, so that's like 2.5 greens and then an orange because I'm gonna have some dressing on it. Okay, great, right? So that I would do that in the morning because planning out like I know I'm having this for dinner tonight. So these are the containers that I'm gonna save for dinner. And then the rest of the day, I just filled in the blanks. For breakfast, I am a boring as you can be person. I like eggs and toast. I make my eggs in a different way. Sometimes I have whole wheat bread, sometimes I have whole wheat tortilla, sometimes I have whole wheat English muffin. But I always have a carb and some eggs in some sort of something. Shakeology, I would always have like a protein with a fruit, with my banana in there, with some teaspoons, coconut oil and peanut butter. It typically has a carb in there because I like to put oats milk in there, which is too high of calories to be free. So it counts as a yellow, but unsweetened vanilla almond milk is just a teaspoon if you have 8 ounces, right? I would just fill in the gaps. I know what I want for dinner. So breakfast, lunch, snacks, I'm going to fill in the gaps of where I want to be. And that's what I would do every single day so that I could eat this normal dinner with my family, or we're going to this family event tonight. And I would ask like, hey, what are we having for dinner tonight? So that I could save it, right? Or if it was one of those situations where I'm like, really, I don't feel comfortable asking. Maybe I don't know this person that well or what. I would typically just save 2 carbs, a protein, a fruit, a vegetable, and 3 teaspoons was typically my safe zone. Because when you go to other places, there's almost always going to be that ish. And it was really safe for me. So, and it was really safe for me to like predict things to go to, and then I could make it work. And like, oh, well, I saved 2 carbs, but we're actually having kebabs and there's no carbs at all. So, okay, happy birthday to me. I get to go home and have a cookie or a brownie because we're not going to have anything here. Or if they made dessert, I could have that, right? So again, just in case you want to hear that again, I would save 2 carbs, a protein, a vegetable, a fruit, and 3 teaspoons when we would go out to other things so that I could try to save and make it work. Okay. So that's Ultimate Portion Fix. The only reason I switched back to 2B Mindset because Ultimate Portion Fix really works for me, especially when I follow it that way. When I like do it the way I want to. The only reason I switched is because I did 75 hard in August actually. And part of it is like, you're following a nutrition program and you can't have cheats or treats. And it was one of those, like, it made me realize how much I like shifted Ultimate Portion Fix. And I was like, wait, so I can't have wheat thins anymore? Wait, so I can't have, and it was like, okay, no, I'm not following Ultimate Portion Fix because I cannot do 75 hard. I cannot do 2.5 months of this. This is way too strict. It's way too hard. So I'm going to go to 2B Mindset. So that's when I switched. And so I've been following 2B Mindset since August. It's been about 5 months now, but I like dabbled in it after when I was super pregnant with Elila and a little bit in my postpartum journey with Elila. But this is the longest stretch of following 2B Mindset for me. And so switching over now to 2B Mindset. Again, watch the videos. If you need more information because they're so good. But 2B is all about following the 4 bunnies, okay? So the two bunnies, right? That's why it's called 2B Mindset. Water first, veggies most. Get on the scale every day and track every bite. Okay, those are the 4 bunnies of 2B Mindset. And so many people, myself included, when I was following it after Elila, I thought I was following To Be Mindset because I was drinking a lot of water. I was getting on the scale every day. I was tracking pretty much everything I did, and I was having a lot of vegetables. And it wasn't until 75 Hard and until Ashley really taught me, my coach, my sister, I was not following To Be Mindset at all after Elila. I thought I was. I was pretending I was. I was not, because I was not having veggies most. It's not veggies more than you are right now. It's literally when you look at your tracker at the end of the day, 51% of the foods you consumed today were vegetables. That's what veggies most means, right? And you don't have to eat raw carrots all day, right? And that's part of To Be Mindset, is you can make it as delicious as you want. You can add bacon to your Brussels sprouts, and you can add butter to your green beans, and you can add a whole bunch of dressing to your salad. Whatever gets you eating more vegetables, great, do it. My favorite hack right now is zucchini and queso. It is so good. Like, and it still has that crunch of like a chip, but just like straight up queso. And it's so good. So good. Okay. So again, I struggled with a binge eating, disordered eating. I don't know if it was an eating disorder, but it was definitely disordered eating. I would binge, and it was so awful. And To Be Mindset and those videos and that switch helped so much to not look at food. And Ultimate Portion Fix helped me a ton too, because the focus was more on what to eat instead of what not to eat. So really both have really helped me so much. But I really love Alana's approach to Be Mindset. And yeah, whatever gets you eating more vegetables, you eat them, okay? The downfall for me with Ultimate Portion Fix was I wasn't drinking very much water. She doesn't talk about water as much. I know she knows that water is good and that she suggests drinking it, but it's not a huge like focus for Autumn. And there's a spot to track it in the Nutrition Plus app, but it wasn't a huge focus. So for me personally, I noticed that my water really suffered when I followed Ultimate Portion Fix. And I'm nursing, so my supply sometimes was a little lacking because I wasn't getting enough water in. So I love Alana just really suggests at least half your weight in ounces, at least. But I love with To Be Mindset, the approach to really just try it, track it, and see. And you don't know what you don't know. And because you're tracking every bite, that's when my sister recognized and realized that she's allergic to bananas. Like, she didn't know that before she was getting on the scale every day and tracking every bite. And she noticed, every single time I put a banana in my Shakeology, I gain weight. And she had no idea that that was a thing until she started following To Be Mindset, right? So with To Be Mindset, I do the exact same thing essentially as I was talking about with before. I still plan my dinners out a week in advance, and I still make my family normal stuff. I just swap it out, the carb for a veggie base. So instead of my family, they're having hamburgers, they're having buns, I bought a big tomato and I sliced it up, and my bun is tomatoes, right? It's like, it's the top of the tomato and the bottom, not the insides. It's like a little, yeah, hopefully you can picture that. So it doesn't squish when I touch it. It's still like the hard outer part of a hamburger, or lettuce, right? And then instead of having spaghetti with my family, they're having spaghetti, I'm having the sauce, but I'm putting it over spaghetti squash noodles or zoodles instead. They're having curry or teriyaki chicken or whatever, and I'm having it too. I'm just putting it over cauliflower rice instead of white rice with them, right? And then everything else is basically the same. And it has really worked well for me. I'm not going to lie. There are definitely days following To Be Mindset that I'm like, I just want some normal spaghetti. And on those days, it's like, I should just go back to Ultimate Portion Fix. And it's great and it's fine. And maybe I will. I don't know. Who knows? Right. But To Be Mindset has really worked for me in my weight loss and nutritional goals. Because of those little swaps, and it still tastes so flavorful and it still does taste great. And I think personally, like, yeah, you totally have those carbs every once in a while for dinner. You can still have carbs with dinner and eat vegetables most in your day. You don't have to, part of To Be Mindset is plate it, right? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the videos, but it's not called plate it mindset. It's called To Be Mindset. And it's not, one of the bunnies is not that you can't have carbs with your dinner. You just have to have vegetables most. So if you want to have hamburgers or you want to have spaghetti or you want to have pizza, do it. Just make sure that more than anything else that you're eating, you had a lot of vegetables today, right? And if you're not following plate it for dinner because you're having carbs, where did you fit those veggies in elsewhere? Was that your main snack today? Did you have a lot of vegetables because you had an omelet this morning and you snuck in a whole bunch with your eggs? Did you have a huge salad and some green beans with your lunch? Like, something's got to give, right? Like, if you're having carbs for dinner with following To Be Mindset, that's okay. But you just have to make sure I'm still having vegetables more than anything else if I'm following To Be Mindset, right? Okay. And that is one of the biggest things that I hear from To Be Mindset people, that they're like, I'm doing it. I'm not losing weight. And that's when I like, okay, but are you really? And that is really the biggest one. It's easy to get on the scale every day. It's easy to write down everything you're eating. It's easy to drink water first, but at the same time, when I talk to people, they're really not drinking water first. You're supposed to drink 16 ounces of water before you have anything at all, even Energize, right? And I didn't even know that until I read her book, that it was literally like, no, the second you wake up, the first thing you do, 16 ounces of water first before you have anything at all in your mouth. And then you'll know, am I really hungry or am I just thirsty, actually? Okay. Another part, let me read this comment from Laura before I move on to that. Laura said, the best thing is now you have access to both plans. So if you start following one and it's not a good fit, then you have both and can use the one that's best for you. Amen. And like I just said, like, maybe I will go back to Ultimate Portion Fix one day. I don't know. Right. And I know people who do like a little bit of both, that they follow Ultimate Portion Fix, but and one of the things that I started adopting after To Be Mindset came out was I kind of did the Ultimate Portion Fix to make sure I was getting all of these different macronutrients, but with my veggies, I would have more dips, more teaspoons. So essentially more fats, more oranges, more orange containers, more teaspoons, because I didn't want to just eat 6 servings of raw carrots. I wanted to have 2 salad kits in a day, or I wanted to have some ranch with my carrots. And I allowed myself, like, yes, I'm going to have all 6 servings of these vegetables because I'm breastfeeding and that's a lot, right? But I'm going to dip it in some ranch, and it might be a little bit more than the orange container that I'm allotted, right? So I know like some people have done that too, where it's like they kind of mix and match, right? So there is nothing wrong with watching all the videos. I have watched all the videos from both programs and they're so good, so informational. And even when I'm following one versus the other, I still glean information and like, ooh, that's a good thought. That is a good tip. That is a good thing to remember. And if you like go to social events, hello COVID, probably not right now, but like Super Bowl parties, and anytime you're at your in-laws house or Thanksgiving or whatever, like following To Be Mindset is so good for all of those events and parties and restaurants, vacations, that I would do that. I would follow Ultimate Portion Fix at home. And when I go on vacation or to a friend's house or to an event of some sort, To Be Mindset. And I would like just do what she said. And it was so, so good. Stephanie said, for me, I needed to start with UPF because I was not eating enough in my day. I constantly forgot to eat and was too busy for an actual meal 3 times a day. So I needed the containers to show me how much intake I was supposed to have. Yes, that is a really, really solid thing to note. And if that's where you're at, yes. If you know you don't eat enough food, and if you're somebody like that who forgets to eat, start there. Please start there. And I know like the top number one she was number 2 Beachbody coach, out of all 450,000 coaches, she has to follow Ultimate Portion Fix because she struggled with anorexia. And she knows that if she goes with intuitive eating and like, okay, I'm gonna have water first and then vegetables, like she would not eat anything else besides water and vegetables because just her mindset is a little bit not quite healed from her previous disordered eating, right? So good. They're both so good. And I love that they're both so different. And they really can help you in whatever phase you're in. But another part of To Be Mindset that I really didn't recognize until I read her book, which is so good, by the way. They both have books, so I would really encourage you to get them. They're both on, I know you can drop it. Alana's book on Amazon. I don't know if Autumn's book is available on Amazon yet, but I know it's on Beachbody, teambeachbody.com. So, and if it's not on Amazon yet, I bet it will be soon. So, both so solid. But I didn't really realize the part of To Be Mindset until I started reading her book that, she talks a lot about DINTEO, which stands for Do I Need This Eating Opportunity? You want to take it out? And really truly like, sure, yes, you can eat anything, but do you need to eat that? Like, do you really need to eat that? And it's mainly specifically talking about like cheats and treats. Like, yes, you can, and you can still have veggies most, you can still drink your water, you can still follow To Be Mindset, but do you really need this eating opportunity? And if the answer is yes, all right, great. You own it. You enjoy it. You enjoy that piece of pumpkin pie with your mother-in-law's fabulous whipped cream that you never get to have except for on Thanksgiving. Yes, you need that eating opportunity and you enjoy it with full satisfaction, right? But if it's one of those days where you're like, I want sugar, and all we have is the old Starburst from Halloween that are 3 months old. Do I need this eating opportunity? No, I don't. That is not. Yes, sure, maybe I'm craving some sugar, but am I really craving 3-month-old Starbursts? No, I'm not. Okay, then I don't need this eating opportunity, right? And just being more conscious and aware of those choices and those slips, right? Another one that is part of not Ultimate Portion Fix, To Be Mindset is the more sure model that it's not plugged in and I don't want you to turn it on because I'm talking to my friends. The more sure model. And that's more of like, I want seconds. I want more food. Can I have more? Yes, you can. But this is how you do it. You don't just go back and fill your plate again. You drink water first. And then you have more vegetables, and then you have more protein, and then you can go back for seconds on that roll or that sweet potato pie or whatever it was that you wanted more of, because most of the time it's just really carbs that we wanted, right? More of. So there is more to Be Mindset than just water first, veggies most, get on the scale, and track every bite. Those are the bunnies. Those are the basics. But there is more. Dinner and done is a thing. 1 bite to taste is a thing. More sure. DINTEO, right? So if you're someone who like, I've been following To Be Mindset and it's not really working for me, just like have that gut check with yourself. Okay, do you know everything I just said? And it's okay if you don't. If you don't know those catchphrases that I just said, go watch the videos, read her book, okay? 2 hands on the wheel. Like, do you know what that means? Do you know what those little catchphrases mean when you hear them? And because if you do, they should empower you to know, like, especially if you're somebody who loves food like me and who turns to food for happy, sad, celebrations, stress, all the whatever, To Be Mindset will be really good for you. If you're somebody who struggles with emotional eating, right? So that was pretty long, but I hope it was helpful. I wanted to go over the basics of both and how I make them work for me. So Laura said in the chat, yeah, I use UPFs because I have no self-control, laugh out loud. I tried to be, but since there's no guideline about what you can eat in fats and carbs, and I go way overboard, but the water tip has helped me. And yeah, Laura said, highly recommend Autumn's book too. Yes. And with fats, yeah, there's no guideline about fats with 2B Mindset, but there is guidelines with carbs. She has food lists too. And there's FFCs, which stands for fiber-filled carbs. And there's a very specific ratio of like, it's considered an FFC if it has at least 2 grams of fiber for every 10 grams of carbohydrates, right? So if it has 20 grams of carbohydrates, it needs to have at least 2 grams of fiber. And these ingredients should not be the first ingredients on the ingredients list. And if they are, that is not an FFC, that's a silly, okay? And when she talks about carbs in 2B Mindset, she is specifically talking about FFCs. Sillies are allowed because, right, you're like trying to overcome emotional eating and not deprive yourself. But if you really want to get results, you got to recognize that a silly is called a silly for a reason. You're being silly, okay? You're not making great choices. You're being silly. So, and just that was one thing that 75 Hard really helped me recognize and see is no, like when I did 75 Hard, I followed 2B Mindset, but I did not have any sillies. I never had a silly. And because that's a cheat, that's a treat, right? And I also never had any like cake, brownie, cookies, whatever, because those are sillies, right? So that's how I followed 75 Hard doing 2B Mindset. So technically there are guidelines when it comes to carbs with 2B Mindset, because she encourages you all day long to do more FFCs than sillies. And she all day long, she'll say that. So, so yes, so good, both so good, both so different, both so good. And both have helped me lose a lot of weight. Okay. So no matter what you pick, just enjoy your life. Yeah. Make it a lifestyle, not a diet. Make sure it's something that you can do for life. And if it's not, tweak it, change it, reach out to your coach, ask for help. Because should not be something that you like, oh, I hate my life. I miss my flaming hot Cheetos, right? Like make it a lifestyle. Make it a lifestyle. Okay. If you're on the recording, I love you. I'll see you later. Hopefully you'll join us live next week. If you are on live right now, stay on and we'll chat. Okay. Bye, recording friends.